Welcome to another episode of Mayo Movie Club. It's time to talk about some really awesome movies. Movies that may be considered classics, or they're just really funny, or creative, or whatever. Anything goes. The first movie is Oculus from 2013. It wouldn't be a Mayo Movie Club without a horror movie. And if you're a big horror fan, you know there's a wide spectrum of horror out there. Oculus is no masterpiece, it's not some important influential movie. What it is what I call rewatchable horror. It's fun, it's clever, it's well made, it keeps you entertained even on the fifth viewing. It's one of the first movies from writer-director Mike Flanagan, director of The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, which I think is pretty good. Whether you like it or not, it's very effectively put together and beautifully shot. He also made 2019's Dr. Sleep, which I thought was surprisingly good until the final act. Oculus tells the story of two children who were separated after their father murdered their mother. The little boy had to kill their father to stop him, and because of his young age, he was institutionalized to make sure he wouldn't grow up emotionally traumatized. His older sister, however, was left on her own. Both kids insisted that their father had been driven mad by a creepy antique mirror he'd been keeping in his office. Once little Tim is all grown up and released from state care, his sister Kaylee takes him into her custody. Their relationship has suffered over the years because Tim didn't want her to visit anymore. He'd been going through years of therapy trying to get rid of the ridiculous notion that a haunted mirror caused his dad to go crazy. He's ready to accept the reality of the situation, that his dad was simply disturbed and that his childhood memory was wrong. Kaylee, on the other hand, has dedicated her life to tracking down this mirror and proving that her father was not a killer, but instead that this mirror truly is evil. She's worked her way up in the profession of antique dealing to position herself to take the mirror once she finds it. The rest of the movie follows these two characters as the tension between them grows, both accusing each other of not wanting to face the truth, as Kaylee sets up cameras and traps, trying to bait out the mirror and get the proof she needs. The movie cuts back and forth between flashbacks and present day, telling the story of what happened to their parents and how the mirror was involved. And as the movie goes on, it starts to blend the two timelines, even to the point where you see past and present characters passing each other in the same frame. It's really cool. Oculus is a movie that you can just casually watch whenever you want to have a good time. If you're hanging out with friends or you're on a date and you just need something to watch, Oculus is a solid bet. Let's stick with the horror theme for a bit and talk about one of my favorite movies, The Burbs, 1989, directed by Joe Dante from Gremlins. If you like Gremlins, you'll like The Burbs. They have a similar dark, bizarre, humorous slapstick tone, and even share the same composer whose music elevates the movie to a whole new level. This is an early Tom Hanks movie when he was known more for his comedic roles like Big, Joe vs. the Volcano, Splash. He plays your regular old suburban dad that's kinda irritable and doesn't want to work, and bored by the mundanity of white consumer middle-class life, stuck in a world of the same 4 to 5 neighbors he sees every day, living in one of 1,000 identical cul-de-sacs. His neighbors are a bunch of weirdos, similarly driven to madness through boredom, bitching about someone's dog crapping in their lawn, not being able to smoke in the house, one guy hates his wife, another pines for the glory days of when he was a soldier in the war, Corey Feldman plays the asshole teenager that blasts rock music from his porch. There's just nothing remarkable about these guys at all. And when the new neighbors show up, moving into the creepy house across the street, looking foreign, speaking with weird accents, all the guys think there's something suspicious about them. Because of course, right? A family moves in that looks and sounds different, therefore they must be up to no good. The movie is very conscious of the fact that it's bigoted to act this way, and Tom Hanks' character is the one to be hesitant about judging, as are the wives, played by the stunning Carrie Fisher post-Star Wars, and our old ex-soldier's young wife Wendy, who would rather be tending to her garden than snooping around the new neighbor's house. The movie keeps you guessing all the way to the end whether this new family is actually bad or not. Are these guys onto something, or are they just harassing innocent people who want to be left alone? They are acting a bit suspicious. Why is this guy violently beating his trash in the middle of the night? Why are they digging holes in the backyard in the rain? Where did old man Walter disappear to without leaving a note? They're trying to solve a mystery, but causing so much destruction while they do it. It's hilarious, it's unique, and it has just the right touch of horror. The Burbs was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and I love it even more now. Alright, next up on the list is Chef from 2014. Jon Favreau wrote, directed, and stars in this film about a professionally trained chef who hates not being able to experiment and create new dishes for the restaurant he's employed at. He gets a humiliating review after he's forced to serve food he doesn't want to make, and sets off on his own to start a food truck selling Cuban sandwiches, going out to find and revamp the truck, make the menu, and travel the country making his own brand. His son goes along with him, finally able to spend some time together after having a troubled relationship due to the divorce. There's not a lot I have to say about this one. It's simple. They travel around, experimenting with different ingredients, bonding as father and son. There's a few points of drama, and that's it. You should watch it. The real star of the movie, though, is the barbecue brisket. It steals the whole film. I'm gonna end this with something really light, a romantic comedy. Another Tom Hanks movie, actually. You've Got Mail from 1998. A movie that is essentially a commercial for America Online. But is it though? I don't think so. Sure, it's full of AOL product placement because the movie centers around two people getting to know each other by email, but it's so much more than that. You've Got Mail has a great setup. You have Meg Ryan playing the owner of a small local bookshop beloved by the community, and Tom Hanks plays the owner of a giant book-selling franchise that comes into town with their megastore and coffee shop and celebrity endorsements and deals you can't beat. It's that classic struggle of capitalism where the little guy simply can't fend off the big guy because there are no protections in place. These two characters meet face to face, and boy do they not like each other. Meg Ryan hates him a lot more than he does though. He really doesn't have anything against her. She's the one that's angry because she's losing her business that she's dedicated her life to. However, these two characters have recently been chatting online, and they don't know who they're actually talking to. They begin to correspond through email, things get a little flirty, and after a while they decide to meet. But when Tom Hanks sees that it's her through the window, he doesn't know what to do. He likes her, and he knows that if he goes in and she sees who it is, it's all over. So he comes up with a plan to get to know her in person first as the man she hates, and leave the online identity secret for now. If he can show her that he's not a bad guy, maybe she'll give him a chance when he reveals that he's the man she loves from online. The movie is so sweet, so adorable. It's funny, both actors are lovable. I must have seen this movie 30 times growing up. It was one of my favorite movies to watch with my mom. Anytime it came on HBO, even if it was just the last 10 minutes, we stopped whatever we were doing and sat down to watch You've Got Mail. Love it. Love it. That's it for this episode of Mayo Movie Club. I hope you've enjoyed the recommendations. If you've seen any of these movies, let me know what you think, and I'll be back soon with more.